Good day, everyone, and welcome to this edition of your HLGU News Update. I'm Kelsey McCoy. Well, it's the start of the fall semester and the beginning of an academic journey for new HLGU students. The freshman class of 2023 are moved into dorm rooms and are ready for classes. Cami Fiedler tells us about some of the traditions involved in welcoming the freshman class. Here's that story.
The sounds of new students arriving on campus began filling Hannibal-LaGrange University today. As the freshman class started to move into dorm rooms. With the help of returning HLGU students, freshman cars were unpacked and lots of items were moved into residence halls.
Trojan Army was wonderful. We just pulled up, and in 5 minutes, everything was in Lydia's room, and it was wonderful.
That quick move-in process is just one of the traditions involving the freshman class at HLGU.
And then in about a week, I'll be just fine, because I know she's in good hands.
But before the official goodbyes are said, faculty, staff, and parents line the sidewalk for another important tradition, the Walk of Honor.
Everyone here has been really kind to me, so it's always a good event.
Meet bagpiper James Hopkins. He has been playing the bagpipes at HLGU for 16 years.
Kind of thought it was going to be like a one-off thing. I had no idea I was still going to be here, since 2004, however many years that's been later.
The tradition has become so important to Hopkins that he even performed one year on a broken leg.
Compound fracture out on both sides of my leg, and I required a couple surgeries, plates and screws and whatnot, and I had a air boot on my leg, which was kind of holding everything together. But I was still in a fair amount of pain, but I just kind of had to suck it up and get up here and get it done. I thought, I only have to walk a couple hundred yards, surely I can just tighten up the boot and take the pain meds and just get up here and do it.
And he doesn't want to stop being a part of this HLGU tradition anytime soon.
I like the drive up here. It's almost 100 miles to the mile from my house to right up here. It's gorgeous countryside up here. It's all nice and bright and green, and I've been fortunate to always have good weather for my trips.
But after the bagpipes end and the sound of the alma mater fades,
every son and every daughter to the scarlet and the blue.
It's time for a few other sounds. The sounds of a new beginning. Soft sounds of a few tears and a few whispered prayers for freshmen as they officially begin their college career at Hannibal-LaGrange University. The start of their freshman year is not the only time these students will walk to the HLGU Arch. Students will walk to the Arch again on the day of their graduation. This time, the bagpiper will lead them in the opposite direction, symbolizing their exit from the university as they graduate. Reporting for HLGU News Update, I'm Cami Fiedler.
In other news, students at HLGU are excited about the hiring of a new student activities director. HLGU recently hired Stephen Crane. Crane says students can expect more activities on campus, including events like this one during Welcome Week, which included game night in the Student Center. The sounds of laughter, pool, and friendly conversations was just one of the many events that occurred during Welcome Week. Events that students can look forward to include HLGU's new addition, the Trojan Wars. This campus-wide event allows HLGU dorms to compete against each other in games to win points for their respective dorms. The dorm with the highest points at the end of the Trojan Wars is rewarded with a prize. Crane comes to HLGU from Missouri Baptist with 6 years of experience in residential life. He says that he has a heart to engage students in campus-wide activities. Crane says that he's excited to invest in the lives of students and to give them a robust campus experience.
I want students to connect, I want them to make memories, and then I want them to have that institutional identity. And looking forward to next year, one thing I want from them is I want them to look back at the events from this year, and then I want them to want to do those again. I want them to want to be involved. Also, I love the idea of giving students an identity that they're proud of, and I want to do that here. I want to give people an HLGU identity.
Students should keep an eye out for upcoming events such as Sand Volleyball, Twerp Week, and more Trojan War competitions. Welcome to the 1800s. Those words were spoken by HLGU's president, Dr. Anthony Allen, during Convocation Chapel when campus was struck by a citywide power outage. The blackout was caused by a series of thunderstorms in the Hannibal area. Now, despite the power outage, the service did go on as planned. Without the aid of instruments, Assistant Professor of Music and Worship John Francis led the student body in an old hymn ironically called Shine on Us. Students and faculty sang the song in the dark, unfazed by the lack of electricity. As chapel proceeded, the lights did return as HLGU's Convocation speaker and alum, Pastor Masi, preached about living water. Pastor Masi lives in India and is the director of an organization called Uttermost International. Moving now to sports. The HLGU volleyball team has been putting in some work at the start of the season. They hosted their first home game right here in the Mabee Sports Complex against Lincoln Christian University. The Lady Trojans battled to sweep the Lions in 3 sets. As a young team with a new coach, HLGU has faced their fair share of challenges. Head coach Haley Hensley, who was hired last spring, is in her first season coaching for the Trojans.
There was a lot of drama. I don't like drama, so we won't have it. Other than that, just being able to do defensive stuff. So serve receive is what they struggled with last season, and that's what we thrived on tonight.
In addition to team chemistry and hustle, Hensley says the ability to adapt to changes has been a large part of their preparation for this season.
I think they're still adjusting. There's still a lot more that we need to adjust to, but I think that they've responded really well with what I'm incorporating.
The Lady Trojans will travel this weekend to compete in a 4-game tournament before returning home on Thursday, August 29th, to face Lincoln College. Well, that's all for this edition of your HLGU News Update. Thanks for joining, everyone. Until next time, I'm Kelsey McCoy.